We're here.
I wish I could give this feeling. I wish I could give this feeling. On the corner.
What up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Corner Podcast. Kel Dansby here with the old man Andreas and Kel, coming at you from Blue Wire Studios here at the Wynn Resort in Las Vegas. Dre, we were supposed to talk MMA today is the first show. We were supposed to talk boxing as our second show today because we didn't get to do that last week. All that shit went out the window. WWE front and center again. And that is because today they announced a brand new deal for Monday Night Raw. So we're going to talk about that. We also got to we got to preview the Royal Rumble, which goes down this Saturday. If anyone's watching Raw, it is not Sunday. Do not listen to Gunther. He has no clue what day premium live events are. He just shows up and whoops ass. So it is going to be Saturday this weekend from the Tampa area. We'll get to AEW. Really, Tony Khan just ain't say shit yet. So we don't know a response. Maybe he's learning not to tweet. In the meantime, before we jump into all of that, make sure you guys sign up for our Patreon, Corner Podcast on Patreon. Shout out to everyone who's just flooding the Patreon so far. A lot of people on there now. You guys are really, really showing support. Tons of content. I think we're up to like 14 videos on there, Dre. We have 3, maybe 4 special Patreon-only podcasts up already, audio and video. So crushing it on there. Everyone's loving the content. Join the Discord as well. You guys get that regardless of what tier you guys sign up for. $5. Less than anything at McDonald's now. That shit's crazy in fast food, by the way. Quick little $5. Make you part of the Corner Club. If you want to be a Corner Club OG, it's $10. You guys get to be on a special Corner Club monthly episode. You join us, talk about a segment of your choosing, whether it's MMA, boxing, pro wrestling, or hip-hop. We get to talk about that for a smooth 15, 20 minutes. You guys get to be our guests. It's your very own show, our way of giving back to you guys. That'll go up on all platforms, not just Patreon. So you could tell your friends, show them. We'll give you guys, like, hey, we'll make that available on YouTube. Everyone can see you. It's going to be really, really fun to do that every month as well. So thank you, everyone who supported already. If you haven't, make sure you guys get to Patreon. Great, great content over there. Dre, but like I said, pro wrestling time. WWE sold just Monday Night Raw, Netflix, on a 10-year deal with some crazy baseball math thrown in. But what equates to a 10-year deal, $5 billion for just Monday Night Raw to get off of normal television and a streaming service exclusively for the first time ever. Big move?
Of course it is. I mean, 31 years they spent on USA. Now you're going to Netflix. I just want to know, is it still going to be 3 hours? That's all I want to know.
It's a good question. Someone reported that it was going to be commercial free, but didn't say what the runtime would be then.
Because if you watch it on Hulu, it's 90 minutes. If you watch it on...
But they cut some stuff out.
They do, but...
Probably 2 hours would be like the sweet spot of commercial free wrestling.
I'm just very curious if it's live. This could be the domino falling for live sports on streaming services, right? Like, this could be big. I don't know where this. I mean, I'm interested. I don't want to say I'm surprised. Netflix wanted to be a major player in like live sports. Obviously, Amazon does as well. But it's like, I guess it brings me to, what the fuck does cutting the cord mean? I'm just getting cable all over again. I'm just paying for different services and different packages to watch the same things I was watching on cable.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you filtered through the BS, right? Like, you can just have Netflix and Hulu, or you could just have Netflix and HBO Max, or you can choose what you want. But eventually, you're gonna have 4 or 5 of everything, and it's gonna equate to what you were paying for cable.
You still need Peacock for premium live events.
For now.
I mean, the
I don't know
Peacock
how long that deal is.
It's a pretty long deal. And they just signed a deal, like NXT's on the CW.
Yep.
And SmackDown's coming to USA. So now you need Netflix, Hulu, and Peacock to watch pro wrestling and know what the hell's going on.
Pretty much. I got it all anyway.
I'm just saying, what's the point of cutting the cord.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. But good for WWE. It's a big deal, obviously. I'm curious how the move looks. I'm curious if that means Roman Reigns, does he stay on USA or does he go to Netflix?
That's a good question.
Like, because obviously they wanted Roman on Fox.
Yeah.
So now if SmackDown's moving to UFC, do they want him on USA or do they want him on Netflix? Or do they want Punk and Rollins? Or I'm fascinated by this whole deal. I don't know how it all shakes out, but I've seen some people hating on it. I've seen some people loving it. I'm in between because I just got to see how it works.
Yeah, it's never bad to get that much money. I guess the devil's in the details, as they say, where Netflix could get out after 5 years, which is still a 5-year, $2.5 billion deal, which is pretty damn good. But the tough part is Netflix can opt in for another 10, and I would have to see how that works because inflation is the kicker.
Yeah.
So a 20-year deal looks great right now, but in 10, if you're still stuck in a deal for or what equates to $500,000 a year, you're getting shafted probably for your flagship program. So there must be something in there where it's like, yo, if you opt in for another 10, maybe it doubles.
I mean, it's $500 million.
That's what I mean, 500 mil. So like maybe it doubles to $1 billion for the extra 10 because you just can't keep it at 500 million because 500 million in 10 years, it sounds ridiculous, ain't going to be nothing.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, right now, my Netflix subscription is $22.99 a month.
Yeah. Is that how much I pay?
I mean, I pay that because I have unlimited screens and I have 4K and all that dumb shit.
Yeah. I guess I do too.
That's $22.99 a month. Now, if you add more live events, because obviously Raw won't be the only show that ends up being live on Netflix, how much is that subscription going to be?
30?
God damn.
Better than DAZN.
The zone's a crime.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a whole other thing in itself.
I don't know.
I'm just stuck on this logic of cutting the cord because you need all these services to watch everything. And now it's
only a problem for the people who still have cable and have to add all of this.
I mean,
if you don't cut the cord, then it makes no sense.
Well, look, I have Hulu Live, so I watch everything on Hulu Live except for on Peacock. Because they have the delay, I can't watch Raw on Peacock because you got to wait 3 days. So I have Hulu Live.
Peacock's $4.99.
And the only reason why I have Hulu Live is because of live sports. Yep. But if you start eliminating live sports from the equation, I don't need this shit anymore. This is going to be an interesting year.
Amazon comes with Amazon Prime, which I pay for anyway.
Yeah, and
which you damn sure pay for in your crib.
Thursday Night Football. Yep. You watch on Amazon. And they've proven now that people watch this shit. People complained about the what was that? The wild card game?
Chiefs on Peacock.
People complained, but it did 31 million viewers.
Most streamed event ever.
Yeah. Look, the minority complained on Twitter. The majority watch on Peacock.
Yep. Minority complained on Facebook. Good majority, I guess, complain on Facebook because they're all older people.
But dude, good for WWE. They landed another deal. I mean, the rich get richer.
I think in total it's $1 billion a year between all the deals. You wrap up NXT, SmackDown going to USA, this deal for Raw, and then $200 million a year for Peacock. I think it was $200 million for 5 years.
They're doing just fine.
Business is booming. And Tony gets all these numbers and gets to collect and go to HBO or whatever, Max or whatever, and TNT and say, look, we're not really asking for this, but this is what they're getting.
Yeah, they're doing
so
business. The pro wrestling business is booming. Like, that's just what it is. People are watching pro wrestling.
Yeah.
It's a hot commodity. It has been. The lie that's constantly told at every major publication in dark corners of life is like, hey, you still watch that fake shit? No, everybody watches that fake shit. Everybody watches. It's the reason why people are spending all this money to watch it, because to have it on their networks, because people watch it.
No off season, constantly going.
It's live.
Still has a
week.
pay-per-view model.
Yeah, it's live every week. 3 hours. People are like, oh, the numbers are down. That's fine. Still doing better than
numbers are down with everything.
Yeah, still doing better than the shows that you watch that are canceled.
Yep. In the percentage of things, they're in the same exact spot.
Yeah, pro wrestling is booming. They're doing just fine. This is another big deal. But the other big deal is The Rock signing on the board.
I kind of feel bad for Trips.
Why?
Because when they merged with TKO, they let a couple of board members go who just like left, right? Got their little payout and bounced. But they actively told Trips, like, nah, you're just running shit, but you off the board.
Yeah.
Now Rock come onto the board. I'd be like, that's my spot.
Nah, you don't want to, like, Hunter wants creative.
Yeah,
He doesn't want to be on the board.
I don't know how much he cares about it. But that gives you some level of security, though.
No, it doesn't, because all the board members are gone.
But if you're on the board, it gives you like,
He doesn't want that. Like, he clearly doesn't want it. The Rock being on the board makes some decisions. Now, Roman Reigns has got to be an executive board member probably at WrestleMania. Like, who cares? Like, people are making this a bigger deal than what it is. There are people that sit on the boards of companies all the time. It doesn't necessarily change a whole lot. It's just a face.
Yeah.
It's just a face.
And he brings a lot as a face on the board.
Yeah, it's The Rock. Yeah. I mean, the bigger news source of this deal is that The Rock owns his name again as The Rock. The WWE doesn't own The Rock anymore.
Yeah.
Now he can go by Dwayne The Rock Johnson. He can be The Rock in TV and movies now. That guy has come up like a fat rat. He's cleaned the fuck up. He managed to work through the business, and then now he leaves the business and comes out on top of the business.
Yep.
Sitting on the board, owning his name, owning the rights, and then he'll get paid a buttload of money to probably wrestle Roman Reigns at WrestleMania or wherever he's going to do it. Well, clearly it's not Perth because they made it very clear Roman's not working Elimination Chamber. So
they're leaving it very vague. Today he was on First Take, which is why you put The Rock on the board.
Yep.
Because he gets to go and be a celebrity face as a board member in all these places. And he hypes up to a very casual audience saying him versus Roman Reigns will be the biggest match in WrestleMania history. So ears perk up. And if they don't know who Roman Reigns is, they're like, oh, let me figure out who this is. Now it's a family thing. Oh, shit, he's related. And you get that casual fan who buys into the product. So it's one of those things where he left it open-ended enough where it's like, is it this Mania? Is he trying to build to next year's Mania?
Man, that man can't wait till he's going to die.
You're on the board now.
He only, for now.
How old was Hogan when he wrestled Hogan at Mania?
Hogan wasn't this old.
What?
I don't think so.
Oh, I don't know. We got to do some math. Yeah, we got to do some quick math because I would venture Hogan
might have been like 50. Maybe.
No, at Mania, Rock Hogan Mania, Hogan was not 50.
Let me look.
Hogan,
you might be right. You might be right. I've never done the math on this.
He had to at least be 55.
All right.
I'm going to go with at least 55, maybe 60.
Hold on.
For a Hogan at Rock Hogan Mania.
Keep fucking talking.
Yeah, Rock. Hogan was balding with no hair.
Hogan was balding when he first showed up.
I'm just saying, in 90, my first memories of pro wrestling.
Terry Bollea has always been bald.
He was old. He was old already, 1990. They wrestled in 2010? That's 20 years?
No, it wasn't 2010. Mm-mm.
Man was at least 35 in 1990.
Let's see.
So he was 55.
Hogan Rock.
He was at least 55 in that match.
WrestleMania 18. That's
a long time ago.
WrestleMania, yeah, it was. WrestleMania 18 was 2002.
What?
Hogan.
Shit, I might be wrong.
Hogan was born in 53. He was 49. Rock is older than Hogan.
Hogan was 49? That was a different life. That was a hard life for Hogan.
Because The Rock currently,
hard life, brother.
Rock is 51.
Yeah, racism ages you though, so you gotta count that against you.
So I was right. Rock will be wrestling. He can't.
He was 88 in racist years.
That's fine.
Hogan was a whole different level of old.
It's obviously Roman versus Rock will be a very protected match, and it'll be slow and it'll be brooding and it'll be a lot of playing to the crowd and all that shit. It won't be. It'll be physical, but in ways that protects The Rock.
Yeah.
But you can't wait till next year. You have to do it now. This is the most free you're ever going to have The Rock.
Yeah.
So
I mean, he's going to go back to movies. The only reason he's not in his normal swing of movies because you had the strikes.
Yeah, you had the strike.
And they're just now building back up. And during the strikes, they decided he leaned all the way in on football.
I mean, you have – I said this before. Originally, I thought it was going to be Rock and Roman. I don't see any scenario where you don't do Rock and Roman now and wait, because I know everybody wants Cody to finish the story, but I always said Cody finishing the story is not beating Roman. It's not. It doesn't have to be. It should, but it doesn't have to be. He never made it clear like –
Does it have to be at Mania?
Yes. He has to win at Mania.
Is the story.
Yeah. To him, winning the title at Mania is the story. Beating Roman is not the story.
That's odd. I feel like beating Roman, even not at Mania, would be bigger.
Nah, it's not the same. Like Dusty never had his WrestleMania moment. So that's what they're looking for with Cody. So I don't think it matters if it's Roman, Randy, whoever the fuck, Punk. It could be anybody. But we just bought into the idea because Roman had carried the title so long that it had to be going through Roman, but it doesn't. He can beat anybody. That being said, I mean, it is. There's a couple ways because
it means more if he beats Roman, though.
It does, but in the grand scheme of things, Roman versus Rock is bigger than any match you could possibly put on. The only real question that you have, and this is when egos come into play and who's going to put their ego aside, is, well, clearly if they're wrestling and it's not for the title,
they're main evented. Night 2.
So who's not main eventing for the title?
Cody.
And is he okay with that?
He'd have to be. I'd be like, yo, listen, he'd have to be because you main evented once already. So on your little cross-off board, you can say, I've crossed off being the main event at WrestleMania.
Yeah, it's the one thing that CM Punk has not done.
Yeah, like you crossed that out. Now you got to become champion at WrestleMania. It's a whole different, cross-out joint. We've given you the main event. You lost, but you've done it. You don't have to main event again. Punk, his story is main eventing Mania, and we have 2 nights. If we don't do it now, this is ridiculous.
You got to.
So he'll main event night 1 with probably a rehab Seth Rollins. And then it's like, all right, Cody, if you're going to win, probably night 2, because we still want to have the title on night 2. So maybe just open.
He would have to open. So here's another question. Because this is like your favorite team, your team having a decent quarterback and signing another quarterback, right?
Yeah.
This is like Josh Fields.
Bears.
This is Josh Fields and Caleb Williams, right?
Yep. It's the Bears.
Is there a scenario where the WWE says, especially with Seth's injury, you hope he's going to be ready? He should be ready. In the event he's not, do you just go Cody Punk at WrestleMania?
The promo was so good that I would love for them to, but no, I think the built-in for that is if he's not ready, is you put him in the ring and he doesn't have to take a major bump, nothing like that. Protect him. Damian Priest cashes in.
At WrestleMania?
No, before Mania.
Yeah, you get the title off.
If you know he's not going to be ready, you take the title off him and Priest becomes champion. And now that no longer main events.
No, like Priest is not main eventing anything.
Well, him and Punk would have to. Punk is main event.
Dude, they will get that title off of Priest so goddamn fast. Ain't no way they're going to have Damian Priest headline at WrestleMania. Because you have Punk, Cody, Roman, Rock. If these 4 people, they all have to headline in some way, shape, or form. Like, and Cody's the odd man out.
Yeah.
So if Priest ends up with a title, you got to get it off of him at Elimination Chamber.
No, because you're giving Seth time. So you're giving him time. You're not going to find out by then.
You should be, like, obviously the way this is, the math is playing out where Seth will be ready for WrestleMania. But it just feels weird that Seth ain't going to do nothing for 2 months.
Yeah.
WrestleMania is not until April 7th. That's 2 months of Seth Rollins doing nothing.
But if there's a way to have him do nothing, you put that microphone in CM Punk's hand and you say, build this feud.
No, you can. It's just at Elimination Chamber, now you have no titles at Elimination Chamber.
None.
Right? Because Roman clearly isn't working. They've made that pretty clear. Let's say pivot. But if Rollins is hurt, and it's extended, they may do Elimination Chamber for the title. And then have Damian Priest cash in.
Okay.
There's a number of things, and then fail. Because here's the other thing. He could fail this cash.
He could, but that'd be a horrible look for him.
I'm just saying, if like Punk were to win Elimination Chamber and Priest cashes in and fails, and then
I was the opinion, Seth is hurt now. I would have Priest cash in on him Monday.
I think they got to wait until they really figure out this time.
I would have said, Priest cash in, you're champion. You take it through Rumble, go to Chamber, you fight CM Punk at Chamber, Punk beats Priest, Rollins say, hey, that was fake. I was injured. I want my belt back. And now you have Rollins and Punk. And you give him time just in case. I don't know. My thing is Punk just had the headline. It doesn't matter if he's coming in with the belt or he wins the belt.
No, it doesn't
Care
matter.
if he loses, that mean.
It doesn't matter. But it's one of those things where you have an embarrassment of riches. Like my 49ers, we had Elijah Mitchell was pretty good at running back. Christian McCaffrey became available, and it was like, well, your 1,000-yard season, we don't care.
Yep.
Do you still want to play for the team? Yes. All right, we're going to play for a winner, but you're going to be backup. That's just the way it is. And if when The Rock shows up, everybody's just like, well.
Yep. Punk called that shit out, and he's just like, the bro was so fucking good. But it's one of those things where, yeah, Rock trumps all. But again, I'm of the opinion the man just has to show up. So, do I need the full match? Probably not. Does everyone want the full match? Yeah, that's where the money is in a full match between him and Roman.
Well, they can't sell The Rock as a special guest referee at WrestleMania. They can't sell it.
WrestleMania sold itself. It's already a wrap.
No. Cena Rock was so big because they were wrestling.
Yeah.
And it became one of the biggest WrestleManias ever because they were wrestling. If they were like, John Cena's wrestling, The Rock is special guest referee, like The Rock was at WrestleMania in Atlanta,
yeah,
and nobody gave a fuck. They want to see the man work. So if you announce him wrestling, it's big. Is it the biggest main event in WrestleMania history? No.
Maybe?
No.
What was bigger? Rock?
Hogan Andre was huge.
Hogan
Andre was huge. Rock Cena was fucking huge.
One or two?
First one, not the second one. Fuck the second one. The second one was just finisher spam. But the first one was, we hadn't seen The Rock in a decade, right? And he came back and he worked Cena, who was Super Cena at the time, 2 baby faces. That was huge. This is up there, don't get me wrong, but I feel like those are the matches that it would have to go. Like, that's like, the draw was, and obviously Hogan Rock at WrestleMania 18, which we just talked about, didn't even main event.
Yeah.
But they learned their lesson that night. They were like, well, title matches don't have to main event. The bigger name has to main event because they ate up the crowd. And Chris Jericho and Triple H had to walk out to a wet fart of a crowd because they was done.
Spent.
They didn't want no parts of those two.
No. So they have a lot of things to figure out. The injury throws another wrench because one main title program is mucked up because of The Rock and Bloodline stuff. But then they're like, at least we got this one in the books, baby. We got our other title, night one. Write it in pen. And then now it's just like, damn it, Jinder Mahal. And it wasn't even his fault. Seth just slips a little on the ropes. Knee twist the wrong way, and that's it.
Maybe this is the guys we're talking. It was like, Jinder shouldn't have been in this match. He shouldn't have been working.
Tony made the call?
Yeah. Made them ropes extra slippery tonight.
Yeah. Royal Rumble this weekend, though. And we'll find out more during the Royal Rumble. So only 4 matches announced right now. They'll add another one, I'm sure.
This is I'm legitimately, we say this a few times every year. I have no idea who's winning. I have an idea, but
I don't know.
But this is the first year where I'm like, who the fuck's going to win?
Did we know who was winning last year? We thought Cody was going to come back.
We all thought. We were like, if Cody doesn't win, what are we doing?
Yeah, and right? Rhea was going to win.
Rhea, we was like bell to bell.
Yeah.
Duh.
But her coming in won, I was like, it's bold, but sure.
Yeah. Like prior to that, like the year Nakamura run, we were pleasantly surprised with that. But for the most, like the year that Drew McIntyre won, the year Seth Rollins won, like at least there was a few, like this is one of the years where you go, yo, I don't fucking know. Punk, Cody, even Gunther could win this shit.
Yep.
And obviously he's way on the outside. Drew's not winning. Odds-on favorites are Cody and Punk, right? Clear odds-on favorites are those two. But it could be a surprise.
Could be.
It ain't going to be Hulk Hogan. He's talking about my... No. Yo, if Hogan goes over the top rope, he's just going to die.
He might show up and actually wrestle, though. It's in Tampa. It's the 40th anniversary, Hulkamania. Would you be like? I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised. I'm just, they would have to gingerly get him over the top rope.
Sure.
Because if
I
his
hope he
back
goes
hits
full
at
shaming, man.
well, I hope
Just
he blows out everything.
Oh,
But I just,
parade him out there. Hope every
it's so
balloon
gross.
muscle pops.
Because just like Hulk Hogan rescuing the women from the car, and he's like, but he's racist. And like the weird thing about that is like, yo, racist people will save people.
Yeah.
Doesn't make them any less racist.
No.
Right? Racist people love dogs. That doesn't make it mean they like black people.
Yeah.
Right? There's just two
Apples and oranges.
very different things here. Hulk Hogan is a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how far down the depths of piece of trash you want to go where Hulk Hogan doesn't save somebody in a burning car. Like, I would expect him to.
Yeah.
Right? Like, there was some weird people like, he's not that much of a piece of shit. He is.
Yeah.
He just saved a woman from a car.
Just happened to be very strong and
He
a good Samaritan.
He still don't like black people. I don't understand. Like, I don't know how you don't separate these two things. I know a lot of people who love cats and hate Mexicans. It's like this is how this shit works. Nevertheless, Hulk Hogan coming out, like,
He'll get the pop.
yeah, he'll get the pop,
It's
but
hometown.
boy, there's so many of us will be grossed out by seeing this.
Yeah, I think this is one of those where we say this all is not for us.
Not at all.
But you say like he's a racist. Yeah, a lot of people like racists. There's a good sect of this nation currently
Clearly.
who aligns with that.
But a lot of people will just, I don't want to deal with Hulk Hogan's racism. This is my childhood coming out.
Yeah,
Right?
he's American
I-
through and through.
I'm very curious. I mean, he has to come out to I'm a real American.
Yeah,
He can't come
100%.
out. Can't come out the voodoo child.
No.
Even though that would pop me.
No,
Jimmy,
no,
like
but
it's always
really-
been like Jimi Hendrix, Voodoo Child, NWO, Hulk Hogan, Hollywood Hogan was
No.
the best.
But no, he's coming out to real American, and it's more on brand now. Than
Damn,
ever.
it's gonna take. You know, by the time he gets to the ring, they'll have to have 2 more people come out.
Yo, that's the thing. The ramp is so long that he just gonna be walking with the gear. That gear ain't
Yeah.
gonna fit right.
He gonna have that big ass belt on. Bam, 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 and it's
Slapping every hand on the way down so it doesn't look like he's slow as shit
and it's like, all right,
with the little thing.
whoever's coming after him, like, pick a person. Damien.
No, they're gonna fudge the clock.
I mean, you can only fudge it for so long. You just gotta have somebody run past him and have him still slapping hands and shit.
Like, yo, listen, Hulk's gonna need 7 minutes.
Just to get
So
to
the
ring.
next guy, you coming out in 3.
And the only way this happens is if the ring is essentially cleared.
Okay.
Like, that's where the person's like, come on, and they bam, 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 and then everybody just loses
You
their
know
shit.
the pop if Gunther chops the shit out of
Oh, I
him
w-
and
see-
eliminates it.
See, then I would be like, then I would
worth it.
if Gunther did that to Hogan, Triple H is an ally. I'm like, you're an ally, bro.
Yeah, just a full on chop.
Yeah,
Don't
ju-
even hold back. You
Just
chop the hell out of him.
just destroy him. But
That or Bobby Lashley eliminating him.
yeah,
Just for the optics of it.
but yeah, this Royal Rumble, man. I guess we'll start with the men's Royal Rumble. Like,
Oh, usually we start with the matches.
all right, well, there's 2 matches, so we can do
Logan
that.
Paul, Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens is gonna lose.
Right? They got to take this into Mania.
Yeah, because it feels like the way they're moving about this is maybe LA Knight versus Logan Paul for the U.S. title at Mania. Because it feels like,
Logan's going to be at Mania.
clearly,
Yeah.
right? And it feels like a match with him and LA Knight is its own like marquee match. Now, the question is, does it have to be for the U.S. title? Not necessarily, but it should, because if LA Knight wins, he gets the title.
Yeah.
My affinity for Kevin Owens doesn't want to see him lose.
KO's going to be at Mania because he has the merch.
Yeah.
He's going to be
year,
in a match.
I just don't know what he's doing, and I'm sure probably he doesn't know what he's doing. I will suggest that at least 60% of the roster has no idea what they're doing at Mania.
No.
Or if they're even going to be working it.
Kind of like that.
I don't know. But I mean, it's just with Rock and all this stuff, it's like, all right, nobody knows what they're doing. So, but I feel like Logan Paul at Mania is pretty much etched in stone. It's just, is he defending the U.S. title? And if a LA Knight match makes the most sense
Yeah,
right
because
now.
if KO wins, what is there for him?
I mean, he could have a great U.S. title run, but you got to build a feud in the next 2 months that people want to see. And
I wouldn't mind running it back.
nah, you can't wait till April. Like, you have, like, Logan Paul's an attraction. Him having the U.S. title is an attraction. He's done very well with it,
Yeah.
right? Like, his promo work has been very good. The fortunate and unfortunate thing about Kevin Owens is he's reliable. He'll
Yeah.
make Logan Paul look good. He doesn't have to win. And you could find a spot for him at Mania if you really want it.
Yeah.
Now, what a year ago, what we thought may have happened is clearly not going to happen, him versus Sami Zayn.
No.
Right?
That would be incredible.
Where the fuck is Sami?
I don't know. He was on Raw not too long ago. I don't know if he got hurt or what.
I just thought about that. I feel like I haven't seen Sami on TV in weeks.
He was supposed to challenge Gunther, and then I haven't seen him.
All right,
He was talking shit to Seth
I remember
about the
this.
title.
Yes. And then he just kind of vanished.
And then that was it.
And I feel like maybe I'm missing something, but
Maybe he'll come back in the Rumble.
yeah, it's kind of crazy. Sammy's one of your most over talents, and he kind of vanished and without a peep.
Yeah. Maybe you got to build something for Sam.
Nevertheless, Owens is reliable. If you got to throw him in some sick, well, no, you can't even do that because you're going to have every title is going to be busy. It seems like every title is going to be stuck in a feud, which is good.
Yeah.
You don't need a multi-man ladder match to determine a champion.
No.
And you're not doing Money in the Bank, so who knows what Kevin Owens is going to end up doing. He becomes a casualty of the whole situation. The man headlined last year. He doesn't have to headline this year. But he's not – I don't think they're going to have him beat Logan Paul. I think Logan's going to cheat, and they want him to carry this title into Mania.
You just mentioned that. I wouldn't mind them being a multi-man ladder match for that belt at Mania.
Yeah, but
If he cheats, KO loses.
well, I would –
And then you have him, LA Knight, Logan. You still have Santos Escobar in that feud. So you have Escobar, Carlito. You need one more person?
I mean, you can find some. There's Lashley. Like you have
Yeah.
you have opportunity. Yeah, I don't know. But right in my head right now, Logan Paul is winning this match. He's going to cheat.
Me too.
and
But I
retain
wouldn't
his
mind that be the ladder match for Mania. And that's just a good fucking match.
They could do that. It just feels like a Logan Paul LA Knight match. The banter between those two,
Yeah.
and it's really could really push LA Knight to the moon.
Yeah.
The real question
Owens
for,
in there. LA will cut ass on all five of them. And then him grabbing the belt off a ladder, the pop would be.
well, the real question for LA Knight is, and it gets really complicated because not this time last year, 6 months ago, it's kind of a clear path to get him into the main event picture. Now it's a little bit with the Punk arrival.
Yeah.
Rock, like now you got to figure out where you're going to position him. And he, in a one-on-one match is a lot bigger than a multi-man ladder match. So we'll see. But Logan Paul's going to win this match.
The ladder matches are always cool with me. Like the IC title, having the ladder match like every year at Mania. Because there was like the tease pops every year. And you can like gauge. I know they did that at Money in the Bank for LA Knight. But that was like the tester, the heat check. And that was like when he pulls that title, it's the easiest pop you're going to get. You're going to get great spots. Good wrestlers. You can hide Logan Paul for a couple of things, but he's going to have viral moments because he's jumping off a ladder somewhere, or Kevin Owens going to frog splash him off or something into the ladder.
No, there's opportunity.
And then LA Knight's going to pull the thing. So, like, that's a good match.
It's definitely on the table.
And then we have undisputed WWE Universal Championship, Roman Reigns now versus Randy Orton, AJ Styles, and the aforementioned
This
LA
is
Knight.
going to tell us so much about WrestleMania. Everything we need to know about shit. If this match goes on before the Men's Royal Rumble, this tells us about the Men's Royal Rumble.
Yeah, this is the only way, and I'll hold steadfast on how you get that belt off Roman.
Yes.
If you want him and Rock to not be for the title.
Yes.
Because Randall Keith Orton
Yeah.
wins this title, and it's him and Cody.
Yeah. And like I said it before. It's like, is the legacy story.
Yep.
Right? Second generation. Yeah. Yeah. Second generation wrestlers
Both.
working, for the title. It's
Randy
just,
was his big to his little,
Yeah.
right? Like, he was teaching him the path. There's a good story to tell.
There's a fantastic story to tell.
And this
there.
puts Randy's number damn near close to. It ties him with Cena.
It gets him pretty
Still
close.
behind Rick.
It gets him close. And Randy's as over as he has been. He looks like $1 million. Like, you could go this route. The question really becomes, in that boardroom meeting, do they go, we need casual fans to watch WrestleMania? And Roman versus Rock for the belt looks a lot better than Roman versus Rock not for the belt.
Yeah.
That's the question that it really becomes. Because even though all of us know that Roman's not losing that title,
Doesn't matter.
the visual of Rock and Roman with a title in between them. Remember that goofy ass WrestleMania? Actually, it was the WrestleMania that Seth Rollins cashed in.
Yep.
The Raw before it, they had that goofy ass visual of Roman and Brock
Tugging at it.
Yeah, and that became like the image. That's what they want. They
Yeah.
want to sell that image.
The Rock giving a rock bottom to Roman Reigns on the go home show on SmackDown and then holding up the new title is all you need.
I mean, just the visual of that being for the title and The Rock having one last run, as ridiculous as it sounds, and for all of us, we groan because the finish is like obvious.
Shit ain't for us.
That's what they'll tell us.
Yeah.
It's not for. If Roman wins here, we know what's going to happen. If Roman drops the belt, Rock could beat Roman at WrestleMania, right? And we would go, all right, like it's
What are you
okay
gonna say? It's The Rock.
because he's not going to be the champ. We can go, that's fine. And Rock rides off in the sunset, bloodlines destroyed, whatever the fuck. But I don't know. So we know LA Knight and AJ Styles are not winning this match. There's two people who can win this match, Roman and Randy. I'm going to say Roman's going to retain because I feel like TKO as a company has a lot of value in putting that title belt in this match. I don't want it.
And you can't. Roman has to retain because you don't know what you're doing yet.
Yeah, because you still want him to break the record.
Yeah, so he has to go into it. And for any reason, if Rock isn't wrestling him, you still need Roman and Cody as an option.
Yeah.
And that only works for the title.
Yeah, I'm very
It's too early to pull the trigger when you don't know. Unless they might know.
They have it. Whatever is happening is done. At Royal Rumble, usually big matches like that are done. And they're just moving the pieces to set it all up.
Yeah.
So if Roman wins, like we will know. And Rock will show up on the Raw after, and like we will know what's going to happen. But this is this is strange. This is like all this is
A lot of moving pieces.
it's a lot of parts juggling. It's like, and for WWE, this is the issue that they'll always have. This is the issue that AEW does not have. WWE goes, we got those casual fans, them kids we got to appeal to.
Yep.
AEW's like, fuck them kids. Let's like have a great match. Samoa Joe's the champ. Fuck you.
Sure. But you're into making moments.
Yeah, like they're
Not
here.
here for 5 stars.
Well, no, they're here for casual fans.
Yep.
Like they think about those things for better or worse. That's what WWE has been all these years, and we'll see. We'll see what happens.
The bank account says they're doing it right. That's all
I mean,
they care about.
Yeah, I mean, but they're an institution. Like they've never had competition until recently. Since WCW, they just had competition, but they've always ran by the book of the kids, and that's what they want. And it's always been to their own detriment in some ways, because some people have been champion. You're like, all right, like we want to sell masks. So Rey Mysterio's a champion, even though it was a great moment and all that. Like about a month in Rey Mysterio's title reign, everybody's like, he can't beat all these big people.
No. But people don't care about a month after.
No, they
You
want
remember WrestleMania.
Yeah. These
specifically.
are moments. And on top of all this, WWE 2K24 just had their cover reveal with Bianca and Rhea, and then they got Cody on the other cover, and it's 40 years of WrestleMania. We got to remember, it's the 40th anniversary of WrestleMania. They want to make this big.
Yeah.
So right now, I'm going to say Roman retains the title, and who knows, maybe The Rock comes out at Rumble.
That'd be some shit.
It's just now you got to spend months, 2 months, building with neither of these guys working.
Oh, they're not going to wrestle, but they'll cut promos.
No, I'm saying they're not working matches.
No. Rock got to go lock his ass into the Nightmare Factory or whatever, or the PC, and he got to get some work.
It's also possible that Rock does not challenge Roman for like another month. Like you wait on Cody to make his decision if he wins the Royal, or you wait on Punk, and then you reveal it's The Rock. Like what you don't want to do is you don't want to pull the trigger too early, and then you got to spend like 8 weeks doing promos.
What you can't do is have a men's elimination chamber. Because the winner of that...
Unless The Rock is in that shit.
Not with Rock in the chamber. He's not going to Perth.
You sure?
No, but no, he's not going to Perth.
He could show up to cut a promo. I don't see him working a match.
Yeah, like you don't want to muck this up and do something stupid like a triple threat with him, Cody, and Rock. Like Roman, Cody, and Rock. Because then that just cheapens the Rock Roman thing. If it's a triple threat. Like the money in that is a one-on-one match. And yeah, you don't want to cheapen that at all.
Risky business.
It's tough. All right, let's go into the Rumble matches. Women's Rumble match. I'll tell you people declared already as it stands. while we're recording
Bro, it
this.
don't matter. I have
Bailey,
no,
Nia Jax, Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair.
I have no idea who's winning this match. Like, I don't have a clue. This is I looked at this match and I was like, all right, well, Bianca could win and challenge Rhea, which feels very, very big.
Does.
Or Bianca could win and challenge Io. Or Bailey could win and challenge Io. Or Becky could win and challenge Rhea. They feel like they've been on this Nia Jax thing. She's not going to win.
That's the red hair.
Like, it's the one person that you can do an elimination chamber in a match and you don't have to deal with her at WrestleMania because Nia Jax ain't headlining shit.
No.
I legitimately have no idea. It feels like Bailey, Bianca, Becky.
That's about it.
I can't see Asuka winning and challenging somebody. No. There's 3 people that can win this. But I honestly, like, if there was a surprise, I'd be like, all right, well, fine, whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, Trinity coming back is Naomi. Gets a big pop. I don't know if they just throw.
Yeah, I don't know if they throw in a title match.
I think you mentioned my favorite and who I'm picking.
Who?
That's Bailey.
Bailey
winning and Damage Control just automatically assuming she's picking Rhea and teasing that and, oh, you're going to say Rhea and blah, blah. And when she chooses Io and they kick her ass out of the stable, that is the money right there.
There's one problem with that. They have treated Io Sky as such a secondary person, even though she's the champ. Right? So if Bailey were to say, I'm challenging you, Io wouldn't feel like the heel.
Oh, yeah. When they beat the hell out of her? Yeah.
No, and here's why I'm saying she won't feel like the heel because
maybe they got to beat the hell out of her and then Bailey try. I don't know how you transition that.
The problem is like Bailey's the outspoken mouthpiece of the crew, right? And if Bailey challenges Io, it feels like a dick move by Bailey, not Io.
Yeah. But they've been shunning Bailey a little bit. They just got to go all the way with it.
But it's like you got to carry that out over several weeks.
Yeah.
Io's been the champ, but she's never really been a heel as the champ. No. Everybody likes Io. She just happens to be in this heel faction.
You kind of got to play up a paranoia. That's the only way to do it. Like, Io's like, Bailey's like, no. Don't worry. I'm going to say I'm going to challenge Rhea. Don't worry about that.
That's heel work.
No. And be like, hey, I'm challenge Rhea. Don't worry. And Io's just like side-eyeing her. And then like, next thing you know, like she's growing more paranoid. Until she beats the shit out of her. And then you're just like, oh, Bailey. Bailey's like, I wasn't going to do this to you. And then Io's like, I can't even trust it.
There is no scenario.
That's the story. But you have options. That's the only thing that you get tons of options.
And again, the other way is you go Becky versus Rhea, or you go Bianca versus.
That gotta wait till Perth.
True.
Because you have Becky, you have Becky, Nia, throw in like 3 more women from SmackDown or from Raw, and you fill that chamber in the women's chamber, and Becky wins in Perth, where Rhea's from, or from Australia. So you win in Rhea's backyard of Australia, and you challenge her right there. The pop is huge, and Rhea comes out, and you have a stare down, or you beat the shit out of Rhea.
Well,
there's no real title. Like,
Rhea's probably working Nia Jax at Perth.
Maybe, yeah.
Probably. She's gonna need a match. She's not gonna
anyone, but yeah.
The other thing is Bianca, and I think this is where the Charlotte injury comes into play. I really think they were like, we're probably gonna do Bianca versus Charlotte at Mania.
I think so.
And now we can't. And we can't do Mania without Bianca. She's too important to the company.
You know who she's wrestling.
Who?
You know.
Who?
Prince and Money.
Jade?
Gotta do it.
No.
Gotta do it.
No.
Jade ain't a babyface.
No. Jade ain't. I don't think Jade's ready for a WrestleMania. Like that kind of spotlight? No.
It's not entitled.
Don't matter.
And Bianca can put her over.
No.
Immediately.
Nah. I don't see that happening.
I think that's the money match.
I don't think so. I don't. It's been awfully quiet on the WWE front about Jade.
Yeah.
So she could be debuting soon.
You don't think she's going to be in the Rumble?
I don't know.
You can be in the Rumble and not declare your brand.
No, you can, but then you got to get eliminated.
Yeah.
You have to be very.
Oh, Bianca throwing over the top in the Rumble?
I don't know.
I like this a lot.
I don't know.
It's not a pin.
I'm not Me personally, I'm not too fond of two black women working each other at WrestleMania at this juncture because
I was about
Jade.
to say it worked really great for
That was
Sasha.
the stakes were super high.
Yeah.
Like that feels more. This feels more like an elimination match. Like who's taking whose spot.
Oh yeah, no, I don't want to like paint it like that, but I just think it's one of those things. Like optically, it's like these are two women who are black women, but also they look amazing. They look like $1 million. You know Bianca is $1 million, and you immediately put Jade in that class of, oh, she's the real fucking deal.
I
She's
think
in that aura.
you don't want to fiend Jade.
That is going right to the top. It's going close to the top.
Going over on Bianca at WrestleMania,
mean,
there's nowhere to go but down.
No, I mean it's not for a title. That's not saying
no. It doesn't matter. Like what I'm saying
it establishes you as a player,
right? And we all know, like as much as we love Jade, she's still green. She's not a finished work. Like I could see her debuting at WrestleMania with a squash match. I could see her debuting at WrestleMania, body slamming Nia Jax and beating the dog shit out of her. Cool,
big show moment.
Yeah, I could see her doing that. Her having a marquee match for her first match is going to put her in a tough spot. And I don't think you want to do that to her this soon.
She delivers.
But
it's big risk, big reward.
It's too risky. I think she may appear at the Royal Rumble. I wouldn't be terribly surprised.
That
there.
just looks great.
Yeah, I'm good. I don't want Jade and Bianca. I think you build to that. I think you build, like if Jade is ready, and Jade, you have her debut at WrestleMania, she beats Nia Jax. I'm stuck on that. Like she's beating Nia Jax. That's the one. That's the one. It's the one. It's your big show moment. You slam her. You do the finisher on her and all that shit. The 1, 2, 3. Lick your hand. Do the pose. Kiss your daughter.
Yeah.
And then you say, I'm coming for the title next year. And you spend a year, and Bianca finally gets her hands on that title at some point, and you start working towards each other. That's big. That's like main event big. But doing it now, it's like there's just too much that could go wrong with Jade's in-ring. She might not be ready. Like, she might not. And I don't think with this being as – because let's keep it a buck. What does this really add in terms of viewership for WrestleMania? If Rock and Roman are working – you could add nothing. You could just have a terrible undercard and everybody's still going to watch it, but you don't want to.
But this is just a great match.
We don't know if it's a great match. It could be a bad match. We don't know. And I'm not saying that these two are bad wrestlers. I just want to build towards something meaningful. But right now, I'm going to say Bayley wins the Rumble. And if Bayley wins the Rumble and Damage Control were to beat her down, she emerges as the old Bayley at WrestleMania.
Yeah, hug her and everything.
It's just you got to really put fire heat on
Io,
Asuka, and Kyrie. Like you have to find a way because they're not. We all like even though
they should win the tag titles on Friday.
They
so at least they all have gold.
Why is that match not at Royal Rumble? Is what I don't understand. That's a Royal Rumble match.
They put a lot of auxiliary matches around this.
I don't understand that.
Like, I personally would have taken Gunther and Kofi at the Rumble. Like, I think that's a great match.
Yeah.
They plan that for Monday. Like, I don't know, trips don't like long
you don't want to be here for a long time.
Yeah.
And
each Rumble match is 1 hour and 10.
Roman
don't work quick.
No. The reality is Io, Asuka, and Kyrie are 3 women that people don't really want to boo. Right? Like, Asuka's really hard to hate. Yeah. Even when she's in dickhead heel Asuka, we really like her. Yeah. Io, she gets babyface pop. As much as Kyrie tries to work the heel shit, it ain't.
She's the biggest babyface of them all.
Right.
Like, it's just like.
It's like, come on, you with the Kyrie. We love you. It's really hard to make them feel like a heel faction. But they have to do something really heinous.
Dastardly.
I just don't know what it is.
Yeah, they got to flip on Bayley.
And then when is Julia showing up? That's my next question.
That's a good question. She got to go to NXT, right?
I don't know. Do you need her in NXT? She's a finished product in Stardom. All you need her to do is learn camera.
Yeah.
That's it.
You don't need her, but the key is like you're introducing Jade to the main roster. You have some stuff in flux. Naomi's coming back.
You got all them athletic women in NXT.
Just let them run NXT for a second.
You got Jada Parker over there. Like, let them fine ass women work NXT.
Put her down there. Let her run that shit a little bit.
I'm good. She might be ready.
All the women on main roster did that. It was cool.
Now I'm just saying they got a different grade of women in NXT right now.
Yeah.
Like,
no, I mean
These women are different.
Shayna was working Nia Jax. Sure.
No. They ain't got no Shaynas. They don't got no Nia. They got these super athletic college athletes.
But again, Julia has experience. She's not a college athlete. She can go down there, put on bangers and matches, and establish herself as a dominant champion.
They could.
And then come on.
I don't.
There's no need to rush it.
But you want to rush Jade. Julia, who's worked stardom for all these years, you want to rush Jade Cargill.
Different levels of coming in. Like the hype behind different levels.
No, I get it. I'm just saying I'm not putting Jade in there with Bianca. So that's not what I'm doing.
That's fine. And men's is Bailey your official pick as well?
Bailey's gonna be my official pick.
And then the men's Rumble match officially declared. Everyone except one is from Raw. Cody, Punk, Knock, Lashley, Drew, Gunther, Kofi, Priest.
I'm just gonna go with Punk.
Yeah, seems right.
I'm just gonna I don't know. I don't know.
Is it too obvious to just go with Punk?
It seems like an easy pick, but then the flip side of it is whoever eliminates Punk ends up in a feud with Punk. So it's like there's a million ways you can go with this. But I've always said Cody doesn't need to win the Royal Rumble to get a main event at WrestleMania. Punk does.
Yeah.
And he hasn't really worked. Like, he hasn't really wrestled. And the last time he's at a Royal Rumble is when he quit. So there's so much history here. So I'm going to go with Punk. I just don't know who he eliminates at the end. I don't know who eliminates Gunther. That's the one thing I really want to see. Who gets that motherfucker out there?
No who eliminates Gunther.
Who?
Stop playing around. We know his WrestleMania match. We know who's eliminating him.
We don't know it's Brock Lesnar
Brock Lesnar is showing up and tossing Gunther over the top, and it is going down at WrestleMania. Big meaty men slapping me.
I don't know. I mean, it's the match I'd like to see. I don't know yet.
We know it. If there's one match
we do not
that
know it.
is the match.
We don't know it. Would you stop?
We're gonna be here next week and be like, oh shit, well they locked in that match.
Look, we just want that match. We don't know it. Like there's been nothing that suggests that this match is happening.
Wait for that music to hit. Shit's gonna be crazy. And Brock and Gunther, Brock's gonna take a chop.
That's the other thing. You gotta pay Brock like $1 million.
A lot. They got it now.
Yeah, here. Take some of his TKO money.
How much? Yeah. How much are you gonna take for you to take a full on, not even a Gunther chop, one of those Walter joints from back in the day that took skin off chest. We need to see you take one of those. Going through the rest, Punk. I don't know if Punk and Rollins need a Royal Rumble win, though.
No, it doesn't. Neither of these two need to win.
Cody needs to win because he got to cross brands.
Well, that's also true.
So, they're not on the same brand to build shit. So, unless there's a men's elimination chamber for Cody to win and challenge Roman,
but
there's no logical way for him to go.
We're also assuming Roman's not rocking the Rock.
Yes.
So it's like, again, there's so many things. I don't know.
I don't know.
Punk seems like the safe bet right now.
Yeah, to me, after this promo this week, it almost has to be Punk and Cody at the end. They're the two most logical choices. You have to give people to the point where they truly have no clue what's going to happen. And either Punk eliminates them and comes out and said, I told you so. I'm sorry. I know you want to finish the story, but I have my own. And it's another heartbreak for Cody to overcome and another obstacle to find his way over there. Or Cody wins and you have Punk going, well, shit, what do I do? And Cody comes out and he says, you know what? I know you want, and I could challenge Seth Rollins, and we're both on Raw, but that's not the story I want to finish. I'm going to SmackDown. You have your main event, I'll go have mine. And it's a show of respect after this promo. Because one thing Punk said in this promo that was poignant is there's no friends Saturday at Royal Rumble. But do you know how to separate business from personal? Can we be friends on Sunday? And Cody didn't have an answer to that. And it's one of those things where Cody could come out on Monday and say, we're still friends, Punk. You go finish this story, I'm going over there. So there's two ways to play it. I'm going to go Cody, devil's advocate, because you picked Punk.
Sure.
But those two should be the final two.
They don't have to be the final two.
No, they should be. Just because of the promo, how it's set up. Just interest. They are number 1 and 2 betting wise, I'm sure.
I haven't even looked at the odds, but yeah, they have to be.
They have to be. And you just want to give people I truly don't know. You want the dueling chance.
I just hope they don't do some, like Hunter doesn't do some old Vince shit and it's like just throws the Rock in the Royal Rumble at number 30.
Oh, to just win it real quick.
Because remember when Brock Lesnar won Money in the Bank?
Yeah.
When Mustafa Ali was up there, I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, stop. I hope they don't do that. But it feels like these are the two logical people. So I'll go with Punk. You go with Cody. I don't care.
Real quick before we end, we do this every year. One surprise for the Women's Rumble.
I don't know yet.
I feel like the Naomi thing was ruined. So we know Naomi's probably showing up.
We don't know, but her losing the title to Jordan Grace would assume that.
Yes. She's coming back sooner or later.
There's so many women that end up in this Royal Rumble because they don't have enough women.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of NXT women in this Royal Rumble.
I believe so.
Tossed out.
There'll be a veteran or two, like an old.
So is yours Naomi?
No, I took her off the map.
Okay.
Because we know she's coming back sooner.
I'll just say Jade Cargill.
Okay. I have 2. One, I'm not.
Who, Mercedes?
Yeah, but that's just my heart playing tricks on me. So I'm not going there. But I really think when you look at the landscape of everything, with CM Punk being back, with this being a great opportunity, I think AJ shows up. Okay. Like, she doesn't sign. She don't need to be Trish.
That's true.
And go for a summer run. But just one night. Yeah. I think there'll be a huge pop if AJ Lee comes out. And I think this is a good opportunity to just have her do the 1-0.
It'd be really fun if they had AJ and then did the Bellas right after. To revisit
I thought
that.
the Bellas hated that. WWE now.
They probably do. I'm just saying.
But that'd be great.
I mean, Punk hated WWE
yeah,
too.
That's true. Yeah.
Money brings you back.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, no, I mean, AJ, I think is my surprise entrant.
All right,
women.
So men's.
This is tough. Brock doesn't count, I'm assuming, because he's on the active roster.
I guess not.
Brock is coming out in my mind. So if I could make this easy, I would choose Brock as an easy one. Outside of that, there's so many that can be there, and it's not going to be Hulk Hogan in my eyes. So, yeah, I guess there's only so many spots. The men's roster is so loaded that you can't really waste spots like you did back in the day. There's so many people to put into this match. So, yeah, fuck it. Give me Brock Lesnar as my surprise, I guess, and that's taking the easy whack-ass way out.
So I haven't put a lot of thought into this, but I was like, there's like 3 people who could show up at this Rumble, and I'd be like, I could see that happening. The return of Ty Dillinger.
Oh, if he comes out at number 10,
yep.
You know I'm popping.
Andrade.
Oh, I forgot about Andrade.
And
El Idolo.
I don't know what he would be, but Andrade's one. Oh my God, I almost drew a blank. Who's my third person?
Those are 2 really good people.
Matt Cardona.
Damn. As like joining the roster or just a pop?
Just the dickhead that he is right now, Matt Cardona, just showing. Because I
Not
don't
even
know.
Zack Ryder. Just like, yo, let me come for a night.
Yep.
As Matt Cardona.
As Matt Cardona. Like, I would like to see Matt. I just want to see, because it would never happen in Vince's WWE. But in Hunter's, I feel like there's a respect for what Cardona's created outside the company. It's just like, I mean, you're doing well, dog. Come here and get some shine right quick.
Yeah.
We'll acknowledge you as Matt Cardona, and then you can take your fans with you.
And
people are like, oh, shit, Zack Ryder. You can watch him on GCW. Like, cool. You ain't really cutting into our business. I would like to see Cardona get that opportunity.
That would be dope.
Like,
I wouldn't mind that at all. And the only other, those are really good options. I would say, I just don't know the working relationship and contract-wise and how everything kind of evens out there. But honestly, if they can get an Okada deal done, I know New Japan, when someone says they're leaving, they don't necessarily like hold them up too much. They let Ospreay float if he's leaving.
Yeah.
Even same thing. Omega left, they let him float a little bit. The WWE did let Jericho work there for a second. So I'm sure Trips doesn't hold against New Japan like he may other entities. There might be a working relationship there to, if you want, pop everyone and surprise them, kind of like a la AJ Styles, and bring in a big name like Okada. And it just make him feel big like Styles did.
I think Okada's AEW bound. I don't think it's. I say I'm 80% sure Okada's going to AEW.
Okay.
It just feels
A lot
like
of reports on Twitter said WWE. That's what I'm saying. But if it doesn't go through, then that's understandable. It works better in AEW. But if for any reason they could get Okada, this would be a good time to put him in. And honestly, AJ Styles ain't got nobody to work for Mania.
it's true.
If you could set up AJ Styles versus Okada at Mania, and you can put him in the Rumble, that's a pretty damn good arrival
Yeah,
to make him feel special.
I just feel like the relationship with Okada and AEW already exists. He's familiar with the talent over there. They can pay him.
Yeah,
I'm not saying WWE can't. I don't know what WWE wants to.
I think they.
No, I think when it comes to like matching, they'll be like, at a certain point, they'll be like, you can have him.
Sure, if it's about money, yeah, sure.
You like,
I think, much like, granted, there was no AEW when Nakamura signed, but it's one of those things where it's like, yes, I've even wrestled in AEW before. Like, it's familiar. I know what that's all about. The biggest show is London. I get it. That's not even as big as what I do every year in the Tokyo Dome, right? It's one of those things where it comes down to, it's like, WrestleMania is still a thing. Like,
yeah.
If I have nothing else to prove in my career, I'm arguably the greatest wrestler in New Japan history. It is for my money at this point. I'm solidified. They're both giving me a lot of money. Let me go try to have a Mania moment. I don't even got a main event. Like, I just want to see I just want to see myself at that level at a time where at least they're going to give me a shot.
Yeah.
If Vince was still in charge and everything, damn it, I can't do it. But with EO being champ, with Knock getting rejuvenated and having a good run and meaningful feuds, at least I'm going to get a chance.
Yeah, I don't see it happening because the way Okada works, for one, he's been the ace everywhere he goes.
Yeah.
You can't put him at the top of WWE.
No.
Like, he'll join Nakamura in the mid card. And
Knox held the title, man.
nah,
He's been champ.
dude, Okada's different. Like, Okada's been the top of New Japan for years.
I understand this.
I don't think WWE can even remotely offer him that kind of setting in the company. Not right now. Which is, like, here's the other thing. I'm not saying never. I'm saying Okada will probably go to AEW because that's what he's familiar with, and he'll probably sit at the top of the company. Like, him and Ospreay will probably work. Like, one, if Okada signs with AEW, there's no use for Forbidden Door anymore. Just go ahead and get rid of it.
Yeah.
Because everybody in the Forbidden Door has come over and joined
100%.
AEW.
Jay White.
But if you did Ospreay in London and Wembley,
yeah,
Ospreay,
then to me, that's just New Japan US. Like,
yes.
Then it's exactly what we've been doing.
Yeah.
We just raided New Japan and closed them.
Yes. And I think if you're Okada, like, if I know I can't have the top spot in WWE, if I know I'm not even going to come close to it, but I can main event Wembley in record-breaking audiences against Ospreay,
You're very definitive on he can't even come close to the top spot.
I don't think so.
Shinsuke Nakamura was champion twice.
Was he at the top of the company? Was there ever a time that Nakamura was acknowledged as the top guy in the company or remotely close?
No, he was champion, so he was top five.
No, he was not.
Dre, he held the belt twice.
Was he? So Jinder held the belt. Was he at the top of the company?
At that point, he's champion.
Was he the biggest?
You know how many people have never been champion?
No, was he the big draw in the company?
No, they said he was second by putting that belt on him.
They didn't. Nakamura was
He did
never.
numbers in India. Don't play with him.
Stop.
Don't hinder Jinder.
Stop.
Why'd they put that belt on him?
To do India when they came back to the States, what'd they do?
Took the shit off him, but he was top.
Okay.
He was high because of India for a second.
He was not
Don't play with him.
He was not ahead of Roman. He wasn't even ahead of Corbin. Like, stop.
Saying he's not, and he's not Jinder.
All I'm saying, what I'm
just
saying is,
he's Knock, and
I'm
Knock
saying-
is pretty high up in the world of Vince McMahon.
here,
WWE.
let's do this. Is Kazuchika Okada going to be higher than Cody Rhodes?
No,
CM Punk?
no,
Roman Reigns?
no.
All right.
End the list there.
End the list there? You think he's going to be higher than Gunther?
Yep, he can be.
He's a non-speak. He doesn't speak English. You think he's going to be higher than Gunther?
Yep.
Okay, you've lost your.
In a Triple H run company. Yep.
LA Knight.
Yep.
Are you?
LA caught heat, but yep.
Come on,
I
Kel,
think
stop.
Okada's on that level.
Stop.
Yep.
Stop.
LA Knight's not at the top of the company. Yep.
He's going to be bigger than Jey Uso is right now?
Main Event Jay might
Sami
be in a
Zayn?
tag team again.
Sami Zayn?
Sammy was great.
He's going to be bigger than Sami Zayn.
You're listing a lot of people where Okada's in the same universe now.
No, he's not. I'm talking about in the WWE.
In Trips' WWE, yes.
Oh, my God.
Knock held the belt twice and held a mid-card title like 5 times. In Vince's WWE, what was Knock in NXT for Trips?
Was Knock bigger than... No. Was Knock bigger than Roman Reigns?
No.
Seth Rollins?
No.
Dean Ambrose? Brock Lesnar?
No one's bigger than Brock. Till Roman.
I'm just running down the people's names. Like,
I understand.
Did Shinsuke Nakamura main event anything?
I'm not sure if he main evented during that run.
He didn't.
I feel like when he got the belt taken off of him, he might have lost in the main event. But
when did he win the belt?
It was over the summer at one point.
Did he?
Yeah. I don't remember what summer.
He didn't win the belt, Kel.
I thought he had the secondary championship.
He didn't win my point is he was never the WWE champion. You led with this. He never won.
Nakamura, Universal Champion. No? Well, I'll be damned. Is he just IC title? Don't worry, continue. I'm looking this up.
I'm just telling you. You talk about this man was at the top of the company. He was big in NXT. But he wasn't.
Two-time U.S. champ.
He fell short. He lost to AJ Styles at WrestleMania in a poop butt ass match.
He did. He lost.
And he turned heel.
Lost to Bray. Well, I'll be damned. Won the Royal Rumble. He's done everything besides hold the title.
And you sat here and told me he's the number 2 guy?
I thought he was up there.
He wasn't even close. He main evented nothing.
It's a damn shame for Knock.
And Nakamura was the most charismatic figure to come out of Japan.
To be fair, he did win a Royal Rumble. Does that not count as main
Would
event?
you stop?
Does that not count as main event?
Would you stop? Alberto Del Rio won a goddamn. What are we talking about
Point
here?
it to the side.
What are we talking about, Kel?
Del Rio was high up in the company. Why are you disrespecting everybody?
I'm just saying if
you're acting like Del Rio didn't have a high place in the company.
Kel, Kazuchika
I'm not
Okada.
going to say he's not going to be Roman Reigns level. He's not going to be Cody Rhodes level. No, he can be a champion. He can hold the belt Seth has now. He could arguably, if Cody is the champion by then, hold the main title.
Would you stop?
He is bigger than Nakamura when Nakamura left there.
No, he was not. And here's why I say that. Okada was big in Japan.
Correct.
Nakamura was the most WWE ready product to come out of Japan.
The gimmick and everything is great, but the Rainmaker gimmick is money.
But it ain't what Shinsuke Nakamura
King
was.
of strong style.
Like Shinsuke Nakamura was built for this, and he didn't get the main.
It's like Michael Jackson.
All I'm saying is
Vince McMahon run company.
All I'm saying is right now, Kazuchika Okada.
Trips gave him that NXT belt for a long time.
You shut up.
Strapped it to his back.
Okada, right now, I believe, is he 30?
Has to be.
There's time. Okada can do the AEW thing, and when the dust settles at WWE, and it's like, all right, now you have a clear path to be a top guy, cool.
Okada's 36.
He's 36 now?
He is.
Holy
Just
shit.
turned 36 in November.
Wow. So he's got 2 years.
He got to just shorten his timeline quick.
He's got 2 years. You sign with AEW for 2 years, wait for the dust to settle, only because WWE just signed CM Punk. You can't get past that. You can't. And if Rock is working WrestleMania, you can't get past these things. So you work, because Okada could easily work Wembley and then turn around and work WrestleMania. He could do that. But I just don't think that the WWE looks at him as a top guy right now. Not ever. Just with all the shit they got going on, because Gunther hasn't had a run at that title. And you know that shit is coming.
That's coming.
So right now you got to go, all right.
Seth's title for sure.
Yeah, it's like Okada. It's like we don't. Again, it's that quarterback. Do we draft a quarterback right now? Who's your quarterback? Aaron Rodgers. You gonna Jordan Love him for 3 years? Probably not.
No.
Not Kazuchika Okada.
Not at 30. 36, not horribly old in that.
But it's
company,
old enough.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. You
It's
mentioned
on another-
LA Knight. The man's like 41.
Yeah, LA Knight cost like LA Knight was different. You bought in cheap on LA Knight.
Yeah.
Okada ain't coming cheap. And the other thing is like you gotta have somebody to manage Okada too. You don't have a Gato.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it won't happen. They can still find a way to sign him. I'm just saying if I look at the landscape of WWE right now, and if I'm Okada, I'm probably going,
Low longer?
yeah, I'll wait. I'll spend some time in AEW. I'll work Wembley. I'll do these matches because I can still do these 5-star matches. I care about 5-star matches. That's where I come from.
Sure.
I can still work Ospreay. I can work Omega again.
It's an assumption when you've never had a 5-star match. When you have a ton of them, I'm just
Yeah,
wondering
you had a ton of them.
if you're just like, everything I'll do in AEW, I've done.
Yeah.
WWE is an entirely different beast and a different type of company, and it's still the company. And
Depends on who you are. It depends. Like some people are. You think the Young Bucks look at WrestleMania? You think they go, "We have to do that"?
No, and that's okay. I'm also not saying that Okada's not saying that, right? Like some people look at it and say, "I have to do that." Some people look at it and say, "I'm not missing anything." I'm saying we don't know which one he is.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
It
like,
has an allure.
If it was Okada was like, all right, cool, I'm gonna have this big debut at WrestleMania, and I'm gonna have this big gigantic match. Sure, I just don't think right now, given what WrestleMania 40 is shaping up to be, there's not a clear spot for him to make that kind of impact.
Yeah.
Because no matter like, if he debuts, it gets overshadowed by The Rock and CM Punk. Anyway.
I don't know. I think you can have good cards and multiple highs in the card.
Okay. Well, I disagree.
Yeah. Like I think him versus AJ Styles with no belt, no nothing is a pretty damn big match and brings in an audience as great as The Rock and Roman is, and that's huge for us. And bringing in an entire audience from Japan to see Nakamura's debut adds a lot to WrestleMania. Personally,
I don't see it.
I see that that's a huge crowd also, and you can only make it more like bigger and bigger and bigger, right? Because it's in The Rock's words, it'd be the grandest WrestleMania of all time. That could help it. The better the bottom is, the better the case is for that.
If you're Manny Pacquiao, are you working Floyd Mayweather's undercard?
No, it's different. Again, if I'm making my debut, pro wrestling's a different beast. And if it's part of the movement, like I'm not debuting as a champion. Like there's no world form of fashion where I'm coming in and getting a title shot. So my debut is going to be underneath a title whenever I make my debut in whatever company. So I wouldn't even look at it like that. I would honest to God look at it as if I'm him or if I'm at WWE, give me someone where I can go. Do for me what you did for Nakamura, but at a higher level. He came in and his first match was Sami Zayn. Show people who I am.
That was NXT though.
That's again the same guy is running it.
Ain't no Rock in NXT.
What I would ask, because I'm not main eventing anything on my debut in any company. In my mind, damn sure not in WWE. This isn't boxing. I know I'm coming in, I'm going to have a regular fucking match wherever I go. I'm not going to be champion day one. But if I'm coming to WWE, I want these people to know me. I want to make a good impression. If I'm signing, I'm not coming here to work Miz. No disrespect to the Miz. Do for me what you did for Nakamura on a bigger level, because now you run the big show. Give me someone where we can go, because as good as The Rock and Roman is, you know what that's not going to be? A 5-star classic.
Is that what people tune in WWE for?
No, I'm not saying that they do. I'm saying if I'm Okada and I'm coming here and you're probably not going to give me a ton of fucking 5-star classic chances.
I mean, you got to give them time.
On my first one, give me someone who's a dance partner and let us go. So people know this is what I do. And then we'll work on a gimmick and I'll do whatever you want. Not came in and was like, let me go.
That was NXT.
And it's the same guy running it on a larger scale. He's taken a lot of those principles, especially on the mid-card, and ran with it.
Stop.
You don't think Trips is going to give the guy a good match if he signs him?
I'm not saying he's not going to give him a
So what's the
good
difference between what happened with Knock and NXT in
Because there was no Rock and Roman Reigns in NXT, God damn it. It's a fucking different landscape.
Okay, but I'm saying he doesn't have to main event. Knock did main event in NXT that night. So what?
But he was the big attraction in NXT, was he not?
Sure, but you're hung up on like, yo, you got a main event.
No, I'm hung up on you got to be the big attraction.
No, it's not going to happen in the WWE.
Why
Then
not?
don't sign the paper. You're not walking in the door and being a bigger attraction than anyone here.
Okay, that's my point. That's why he's not signing with WWE.
Cool. So he just wants to be a semi-large fish in a decently sized pond.
A pretty big pond with a lot of money. Yeah, working
Sure.
stateside and being able to do what he wants. Yeah.
Sure. But
Why do you think people go to AEW, dude?
that's fine. But why do you think people go to WWE? Why do you
To
think Jade
main-
left?
Because Jade is a star.
Cool. Is she going to main event? She bet on herself. Is she going to main event if they toss her into WrestleMania right now?
Tomorrow? No. Did she work 5-star matches for 10 years before? Absolutely not. So there's a reason why Jade is the person who Jade is fits a WWE more than it fitted
Sure.
AEW.
I say Okada's leaving. Everything he can do, the exact same matches, everyone you're putting on the table for him in AEW, he's either worked already in New Japan or is seen in the same circle and they work the exact same style, and he's going to get the same fucking Dave Meltzer 5-star rating just by touching the ring. Everything he can do in AEW is already did.
He didn't work Wembley.
Congrats. He worked the fucking Tokyo Dome.
Congrats, the biggest attendance in pro wrestling history.
Fam.
It's okay. Let your WWE
they
love shine
packed
through.
the
Just go
building.
ahead. Just go ahead. It's cool.
I'd say
Just go ahead.
70% of wrestling fans never seen that shit.
You're a liar. 70%?
70% of pro
Would you
wrestling
stop?
fans
Would you stop?
have never seen that shit.
Just, dude.
Do you know how many kids, parents?
Do you want Triple H's autograph? You want me to get it for
No,
you?
I'm
Like,
I'm
what are
just
we
being-
talking about?
I'm just being honest.
Honest with who?
As a person, WWE is at a different level than AEW. And if you don't admit that, then you're just
They're at a
wrong.
different. Did I tell you? Did I say that at all?
No, so I'm telling you, if he goes to AEW, he's just doing the same shit he did in New Japan.
Does he not want to do that?
I don't know, but I also don't know that he's not looking at WWE and be like, that's a different challenge and a different beast.
Sure, but
and
I
I've
don't-
seen a guy like Nakamura take that challenge.
And look what happened to him.
He's had a great run. You hear him complaining?
Would you stop?
Do you know Nakamura?
Would you stop?
Do you know him?
Would you stop?
Are you friends?
Do I have to be
Text
his friend? Do I have to be his friend?
I'm just asking.
Did he have
you.
a great? He had a great run. Is that what you're really gonna tell me?
I'm telling you.
You're gonna tell me
he was
that
NXT champ.
because you
He's
sat
been-
there and told me he was the number 2 guy and the motherfucker didn't win a title.
No, I didn't. I said he could be top 5.
But was he?
I think it was a big draw at the
Would you
time.
stop, Kel? Stop it.
That WrestleMania
Stop.
entrance he
Just-
had was huge.
Oh, great.
He
an
won a
entrance.
Royal Rumble.
Oh, now we're gonna
How many
bank it on
people
the
win-
entrances.
how many
All right,
people win
cool.
Royal
We're gonna bank
Rumbles,
it on-
Dre?
I just
How
told
many
you
people win
Alberto Del
Rumbles?
Rio won. So
And you're saying he wasn't a big deal in 2009?
did he win the title? What happened? He was in the mid card and had a
I
shit
didn't
ass
watch
match.
at that time.
No, I'm just saying when Nakamura showed up at WrestleMania, what happened?
Oh yeah, nah, he lost. That was a stupid Vince McMahon.
And he went heel.
Are you
and-
acting like we're in the same Vince McMahon era?
I'm saying all I'm telling you is there's no guarantee that somebody like Okada right
There
now.
isn't. There's a guarantee you go to AEW and do the same
Oh,
shit you were doing.
Kel. Give it up.
But are you saying there's no chance that he can be a top 5 guy in WWE?
Right now, going into this WrestleMania, no.
No, and I'm not saying that he is.
That's my point.
I'm saying go in,
That's all I
say,
said.
let me wrestle somebody, and I'm joining a company to see if I can be. Because all this other shit you're telling me to go in AEW for, I've done that.
Okay.
Another Will Ospreay 5-star, I got 5 of those.
Maybe he likes him.
Maybe.
Maybe like
Or
that-
maybe he's like, I'm leaving home for a challenge.
What's
leaving
the
home
challenge?
to see if a guy who doesn't speak fluent English, who is just one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, can go to a company that is the biggest company in the history of the sport and be one of the top guys, if not the top guy. Let me see if I can do it. And you know what? If I fall short, great, kudos. Everyone said I couldn't do it, whatever. Look at all I've already accomplished. But if I can, I'm going down, honestly, as one of the greatest of all time. And everyone who is a pro wrestling fan will now know me and remember me.
Yeah, I disagree.
That's cool. There's CFL people who put up 6,000
Are
yards.
you calling AEW CFL now?
I'm telling you
Are
that
they
it ain't the
CFL?
NFL.
Are they a CFL?
They ain't the NFL.
Are they a CFL?
Sure.
They are.
They're the second best.
Are you serious right now?
I'm 100% serious.
Canadian Football League? You're really going to
Dead ass serious.
to the NFL? Like, would you stop?
It's closer.
Would you stop?
It's closer.
Just stop.
It's not the NFL,
Just
Dre.
stop.
It's not.
Just stop.
It's
I
not.
understand what you're trying to say about WWE being this big established company.
Correct.
But there's a reason why talent go to AEW. They're not.
And I'm okay with that.
Are you?
I am. I'm talking about
You're
Okada.
very passionate about him going to WWE
No, I'm
because you
just
think he
saying,
could be a star.
Just because you're saying like, no, like what?
I'm
no,
saying-
there's a reason why he would go.
I said just not right now. That's all I said.
So we got to wait until 38.
I just said
If he
wait
waits,
till next year.
if he waits 2 years, does he walk in at any elevated spot than he is right now?
Possibly, because you don't have to cater to a Cody or a CM Punk right now. If
There's
you're
not going to be the next Cody or CM Punk.
no, give me somebody out there right now that's on
2 years ago.
Give me somebody on that level.
2 years ago, if you would have said, "Yo,
Kel,
don't sign 2 years ago, wait
Kel,
2 years, Okada." Look how much he's changed in 2 years.
Kel, give me a person right now who could come back with as much impact as CM Punk.
No,
You can't, right? Give me a person in AEW that could come over and have as big as impact as Cody Rhodes did.
MJF could come over and it'd be pretty big
But it's not happening.
in 2 years. I don't know. I don't know his contract.
All I'm saying is WrestleMania 40 for what it is.
Sure.
The debut at 40,
Yeah.
probably not. It just doesn't make sense being the ace. Like,
I understand. It's just in 2 years. 2 years ago, Sami Zayn isn't who he was last year.
then maybe you don't sign with
Jay
them.
isn't it?
Maybe AEW's bigger. Maybe you go back to Japan. I don't know.
I don't know. But he says he's leaving. I'm just telling you, it'd be a good
I know
spot,
you want him
and
to
he
go
can
to
try.
the WWE.
No, I don't really care. But I'm saying it's a possibility.
You do care. You've been arguing so
I'm
passionately
saying
about this shit.
because you're saying
just let it go.
he's going to AEW. I'm like, no,
I
it's a
said
possibility.
it's
and there's a
very
good
likely
reason for him to go.
he's going to AEW for the reasons that I outlined.
And I'm saying it's likely he can choose WWE for the reason I outlined.
You're saying it's likely. All
Yeah.
right. Cool.
For the reasons I outlined. Because
Are
we
you
don't know who he
finished?
is.
Like, you are very passionate about Okada
Because
going
I
to
hate when you
WWE.
just go- You're very, very specific on your takes, and you're just like,
I am.
this. And I'm like,
That's
no.
what takes are.
Yeah.
I don't waffle on the shit. I'm
No, I'm
telling
not
you.
telling you waffle. I'm just telling you.
The landscape of what it is, I wouldn't see him signing right now because of this.
I understand.
If there was no Punk, if there was no Rock, I could see where Okada could get the money that he wants
Sure.
and the opportunity. But right now, I could see a scenario where Tony could offer him more real estate plus the money plus the freedom and the less working days. And he's like, cool, I'll take that.
Less working days is a component of it.
I mean, there's a lot of components of it.
I will say there's, as much as all that stuff is great, there are some people who say WWE is the biggest company. I'm a roll the
They
dice.
are the biggest company. I understand.
And for my legacy,
I'm
that's
saying,
probably a good thing.
go back to what I said earlier. I said Okada could do it, but
Not
he won't
right
be
now.
the ace. That's
Yes.
all I'm saying. He
And
won't be the ace. And if you
I
want,
guess my point is you can come in now, and in 2 years, you work to that point in the company. You're saying you can be outside of the company, and in 2 years, try to just slide in where
not
you
even
would be.
slide in, just get in where you fit in when the opportunity presents itself. Again, if you are a starting quarterback in the NFL, you're not going where Patrick Mahomes is playing because you're not going to play because you're used to playing quarterback.
I will tell you this. In 2 years, a lot changes. If I go in now, knowing I'm going in, no matter when I slide in, I think I'm kind of going in here. Like, I'm not going to be a champion day one, no matter how big I am. Like, it's just not how the machine works. I will get in and then work my way up to be a champion and start now. Then in 2 years, trying to come over and be an immediate champion. Because
I didn't say
then
be an immediate
that's just
champion.
like, or just
I
be
didn't-
higher on the card.
I'm saying the splash will be bigger when he arrives because he's not going to get overshadowed by The Rock.
That's you're taking the Rock over Shaq. You said
Yes.
this about Jade. You
Yes.
said this about, like, I've mentioned like 3 matches. You're like, overshadowed by the Rock. I don't know what you want to put on this card. If it's the Rock and Roman, you're just gonna mail in the rest of the card.
No, I'm
You're
not.
like, for what?
I'm telling you,
For
as,
what?
as
It
a
doesn't matter.
I'm just telling you, as a company, you're gonna get Jay versus Jimmy, right?
Sure.
You're probably gonna get Punk versus Rollins if Rollins is healthy.
Yeah.
Right. You're gonna get Roman versus The
Rock.
Rock. You're probably, if that's the case, you may get Randy versus
Cody.
Cody.
Yeah.
You're gonna start running out of time for Okada to work.
Yeah. You got a women's title.
You have two
Two
women's
women's
titles. You have tag titles.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna run out of
Allegedly.
you're gonna run out of time for this man to work and have that kind of an impact. That's all I'm saying. Like,
Cool. I mean, you got 2 nights, but I understand.
like maybe if he signs with WWE, he doesn't debut at Mania.
That could be a possibility.
Maybe he just debuts the day after Mania.
That could be a possibility.
And because I
This all came from if he happens to be the secret person in the Royal Rumble, and you got to give him a match at Mania.
yeah, I would not make him the secret person of the Royal Rumble because
But that's hard to pull off anyway. Yeah.
you make him the secret person, he shows up. And now you gotta spend 2 months trying to
Build him. And then he's not a talker. He's not.
No, and you're in a difficult spot. Like I will bet that WWE right now wants to make the the day after Mania, that Raw as big as it once was.
That'd be smart.
Because it has been shit the last few years.
And you're not going to get as many NXT call-ups and shit like that.
No, it's like because you're working. They're
slowed down.
Yeah. Like the only people that are left are Carmelo Hayes, who's working SmackDown, and Braun Breaker.
That's it.
Right now, like Trick needs time.
Oh, and
Dragunov maybe
Stratus.
as well. Tiffany
Stratton.
Yeah, it's Tiffany Stratton, but even she's not even like she shows up, it's like cool.
Yeah.
Right? So there's nobody else there. So there's nobody there that on Raw after Mania that would be like, oh shit, that's my point. If Okada were to do it after Mania, that real estate is all his. Mm-hmm. Like he shows up, there's nothing in his way. There's nothing like the anticipation is what's the big debut. Okada shows up, everybody goes, oh shit. And then they don't 5 minutes later, they don't go, well then Rock's wrestling.
Yeah.
That's what I believe like if Okada, I don't want to see him at Mania getting overshadowed by all these matches and all these people. If you're going to sign, make sure you're impactful because if you're not impactful, you'll just fade to. You're not Gunther. Because and the reason why I say you're not Gunther is he got a second chance.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of people that get second chances to make a first impression.
No. And again, they can treat him like a really, really big
But do it at
deal.
Raw. Don't do it at WrestleMania. Don't do it at WrestleMania. Because part of the big deal about Okada is the presentation.
Of course.
Right? But the presentation is much bigger in Tokyo than it ever has been in the States.
Yes. No, it'd be up to Trips to give him that
But you don't want to rush it. You don't want to, like, you want to make it feel big.
Yeah.
And if you did it at Raw, that feels big. Yeah. If you do it at Mania, you might get over, like,
they made Cody feel really big at Mania, but people kind of knew Cody.
But Cody was huge because lineage, because tenure. Like he's a headline.
He had been there.
Here's my other thing: headline grabbing. You can only write so many headlines about WrestleMania.
Yeah,
Okada will not be a headline at WrestleMania.
Oh, I think you're wrong. I think there's 100% wrong. If he made his actual debut, let's throw Rumble.
I'm talking about mainstream publications.
Yeah, let's throw Rumble out of this shit. And let's take Markway Monday to the side at ESPN because he's definitely writing that headline. But outside of that, I think Okada would be headline grabbing out of WrestleMania. Now, to your point, maybe you got to be creative on maybe if he does debut and you get like him versus Styles or something, you got to put that on night one. Because I understand CM Punk coming back and everything. Cool. But maybe you do want a little more separation between Rock and Roman. But you have 2 nights. Let him debut night one. Give him that leeway to have a good match. Make sure that he doesn't get swallowed by the machine on the next night. Give him enough to him and CM Punk will share headline. He's not even going to get that level. It's not going to be that level. But if you put it on before, it'll be the first big headline.
No, it won't.
Of that.
If Jimmy works Jay at that WrestleMania,
Okada's debut would be headline worthy over Jimmy and Jay, just because that's a good feud, and I like that. But a debut always grabs headlines over a built feud.
Again, that's what I'm saying.
A debut is not gonna trump a really good feud headline wise.
No, I'm saying, all right, Logan Paul,
yes,
grabs the headline.
Correct.
Right.
So keep him away. Second night, keep him away.
All right.
Yeah.
So you have Logan Paul, and let's just say you have Brock Lesnar.
Okay.
He can't work the same night as Roman Reigns and Logan Paul.
No, Brock got to be night one. Him and Gunther got to be night. Brock works early, so that might be first match, first night.
If you're writing a headline, you ain't got no room for Okada debuts because you got to explain who Okada is.
Oh, that's tough.
If you're a mainstream publication,
yeah.
Your headliner, your names are Rock, Logan Paul, Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, that's day 2. CM Punk.
But no, I'm saying this: Rock, Logan Paul, Brock Lesnar, CM Punk, Cody Rhodes.
Maybe Cody. I'm just talking casual fans.
I'm just saying Okada's not the name that you put in a headline that people go, oh shit.
No. I'm in SportsCenter IG brain. No, I'm not gonna pitch Okada. I'm not gonna call Omar and be like, yo, Omar, gotta post this on TikTok. Okada just debuted.
But if he debuts at Raw, He's got the headline all to himself.
Sure, but I don't think I still can't call Omar and be like, yo, you should write about
No, you
fucking
probably.
Okada.
But that's my
But,
point.
like-
That's my whole point. Is he's not that big. That's my whole point.
Sure, he's gonna get that big.
That's my point. I think you got to realize the limitations with Okada in WWE. Like you said, he could be a top guy. It's gonna be really
Gotta
hard.
build to that, yeah.
He's got to learn English. He's got to.
He doesn't know English.
Very little. Like Nakamura's learned. Like Nakamura has known for a while, but it's still.
Now they let him cut like really dope Japanese promos, but he knows
They still
it.
have subtitles and
Yeah.
closed captions. I'm
like
just
that
saying,
shit. It's
Okada.
real animation.
It's cool, but I'm just saying there's a ceiling
Yeah.
to
Like you
how
said,
far
he
he
needs a
can go.
mouthpiece as well.
But he doesn't have a Gato.
That he does it. He would need again. I don't know.
So
who.
if he debuts at WrestleMania, there's nowhere for him to fit into a headline. Cody was like immediate, duh,
No, yeah.
right? But Okada is somebody you have to introduce to an American audience. Because as much as wrestling fans watch all wrestling, WWE fans don't watch
They don't.
New Japan.
No, they don't. And my key is in a match for WrestleMania, you have to give him the Rainmaker entrance, the money falling, the big ass robe. You got to make him look really cool, blonde hair, blah blah blah. Come down to the ring, more money, more money, more money, and you got to give him a match against someone like
Shane
AJ
McMahon.
Styles. Like you gotta do Shane. You gotta Shane. You gotta do AJ
Yeah,
Styles.
Okada Bucks, the Shane Bucks battled each other.
You got to do Kevin Owens, or you got to do Sami Zayn. You have to put him in a position against one of those guys to be like, go out there and wrestle your style night one, bro. Like, here, just go. Here goes 15, 17 minutes. Go at it and just put on a banger so people think the entrance, the work rate, everything, commentary, prop this guy up. And this is his first impression. And to me, as great as a first impression as a Raw after Mania can be, and standing out there and maybe just cutting a promo, what he does best is wrestle, and you put him in a position to go out there and the first impression be wrestling, and then we'll work from there.
Now I'll still take Raw after Mania. I'll take Raw after Mania because remember when Brock came back, Raw after Mania? Every headline, Brock is back.
It's Brock.
But he nerfed John Cena. He didn't have to do much.
No. But this, to me, again,
Like I think
he's not Brock.
me personally, if Okada were to debut the night after Mania, and then you had a match at the next premium live event, you gave him like real estate.
Yeah.
Then like you make him feel like a big deal. I just think it's very hard to make him feel like a big deal with as big as this WrestleMania is about to be.
Okay.
I think you have a lot of things that are working against you to be able to focus on Kazuchika Okada. Because you got to focus on The Rock. You got to focus on Roman. You got to focus on Cody. Once you get down like to number 8, 9, 10 person, then it's just like, well.
I think you just let the debut do the heavy lifting.
No, you can't. That's not how the WWE operates. They don't let the debut do the heavy lifting. They let the PR team do the heavy lifting.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously, a guy like AJ Styles would be like, "Oh, you can't keep me off this card. Do you see my resume? Blah blah. Open challenge."
I get what
this
you're
shit.
saying. I'm just saying it's
get the pop.
very middle.
Give him a good theme song.
I got 20 minutes. Like that's what they're gonna give him.
Yeah.
Like
That's
if they're
pretty damn
lucky.
good.
If they're lucky.
I shot for 17.
I mean, and Okada don't work no goddamn 17-minute matches. Have you watched Okada in the last goddamn 10 years?
Usually it's 30. Okada, you got 17, my man. We got to pull something out in 17.
I'm just saying. And then
I need the abridged version.
because Nakamura showed up. He had the match with Sami Zayn. Great.
That shit was like 15 minutes.
But the problem with Nakamura was, well, like I said it on this show, if we go all the way back, he started coasting. Because it wasn't like
that was different.
but it was part him, part like, well, what are we doing with him?
Yeah.
He can't work them crazy ass matches.
No.
Okada can't do 10 Rainmakers in a WWE match.
No.
He ain't doing that shit.
No.
Like,
Unless they go full Gunther and they just said, we're just going to let you work how you work.
But
But anomaly. But Gunther built in. Again, I'm interested because if this was Vince McMahon's old WWE, I would 100% agree with you. Timing is everything. I think Trips might have a little bit more leeway on a bigger brand to allow him to be himself while still understanding, like, nah, we got to make you likable and marketable to a larger audience for us to put you in position that you want to be in. So it'll take a lot of work. The theme song will have to be a banger. Nakamura's theme song from moment one. That shit hit, and it was like, well, we got to start.
Yeah.
You got the violin people. Like, you need a lot, but we gotta put a lot into this. Which is probably why he won't debut at the Rumble. There's nowhere near enough time to get that like big entrance, music, all this shit. It'd have to be at Mania.
But that's going to be my last and final point to this. Nakamura did not debut on the main roster.
No, NXT.
He worked an NXT crowd that was very familiar with his work.
Hot.
Right? So it's like the day he debuted, we were ready for that. As NXT, because all it was the Super Indies.
Yep.
So when they showed Nakamura, we all knew who he was. Nakamura did not go to the main roster. If Nakamura would have debuted that at the main roster, probably would have not worked.
Yeah, it would have been tougher.
Like, I get the WWE's changed under the Triple H regime, but the crowd is still the same. That crowd is still very much like, what? They're probably what Okada to death. So it's like you have to work around the parameters of what that audience wants. And I'm not sure WrestleMania is the time to try to massage an audience to understand who Kazuchika Okada is and what he means and what's the big deal. Here's a big promo package. This is the shit he did in Japan. Ain't got time for that. We got to worry about The Rock. We ain't got time for this shit with you.
That's a lot.
It's like, hey, we got to tell the CM Punk story. We got to tell the Cody story. If it's Randy involved, we got to tell that story. Jimmy versus Jay, that's getting a huge package.
Yeah, that package is deep.
And then the women's match, we can't ignore them. Like, Rhea's our star. Like, she got to work.
Yeah.
Like, if Jay debuts at WrestleMania, whatever the fuck she does, where do you have time to care for this guy?
I think if you sign a guy like that, you find a spot for him. It's an embarrassment of riches. That's a problem I would love to have.
It's a problem, yes, but we see what happens with AEW. We talk about the same thing. They have the embarrassment of riches, and some of them get neglected.
Man, even sign you. You say you get in the
I'm just looking at what it is. I'm just saying
you're burying him before he even gets.
I'm not burying him. I'm looking at the reality of the situation and where he fits into the landscape of what it is right now. He could very well sign. I'm not saying he's not. But
are you saying it's a mistake if he signs?
I'm saying it's a mistake if his goal is to be one of the top guys in the company. That's a mistake.
I think he can work to get there.
I think it's such an uphill battle. Whereas right now you can work AEW and do Wembley, and then because now you're familiarizing yourself with American audiences.
Sure, at least to a higher degree.
To a much higher degree than New Japan. So then if you say, you know what, I did my year, I signed a 1-year deal. I go to WWE.
Tony can give him a 1-year deal.
He's not.
But yeah, two.
But it's like I familiarized myself. I did Wembley. I did All In. I main evented. I probably got my hands on the title. Now I'm out. And now I come to WWE. Now I'm a bigger deal. It's just really like WWE is not. They've never been really good at introducing foreign talent.
No.
And non-English speaking foreign talent is really hard.
I 100% agree. I can't say they have. But the man in charge now.
Ain't gonna teach Okada to speak English?
Out of everyone. You're saying they've never been good at debuting.
They haven't.
The man in charge now has done it several times. Whether he's been good or not, I don't know.
I'm just saying the machine is the machine. The WWE is still the same machine.
He's done it. And if there's anyone to try, if I'm of Asian descent and jumping over, if I'm of Mexican descent and jumping over, at least this guy's gonna give me a try.
I mean, if
Vince wasn't gonna give me a try,
right.
Vince was gonna paint me into a horrible picture. At least this guy, he's had EO, he's had Asuka. Asuka didn't lose for 3 years, so she spoke no English, and then he built. And it's a smaller thing. I understand it was a completely different audience. It was smaller, but now this guy on the smaller team is in charge of the bigger team, and at least I've seen him do it.
All right. I said it was the last thing I was saying, and you keep going, so I'm going to say this.
Sorry. We got 4 more minutes. We're good.
Who's the leader of Damage Control?
Bailey, for now.
And when she's not the leader?
She formed it.
But I'm saying, she's the leader, right?
Correct.
She's not the champ, though.
No.
How's Kairi Sane been since she came back? In terms of her position in the company?
Oh, she just joined the Kabuki Warriors.
Just kind of an old stable, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure what he promised her.
No, I'm just saying,
I'm not sure.
Who's the biggest Asian star in the WWE right now?
Asuka, hands down.
What is she doing?
She is now in the Kabuki Warriors. She was just champion. Now, Listen, I'd be wrong as day on Shinsuke Nakamura. Asuka's been champion several times over.
She has, but she
Ever.
was.
I think she's Triple Crown. If
But
I'm not mistaken.
she didn't have a ton of competition. Like the women's division wasn't as
Smaller.
deep as the men's division.
Correct.
But my point is,
She was packaged very well through NXT. And
my
then
point
main
is, are any of those Asian women in Damage Control main eventing anything?
no, not right now.
Do you think they will be?
Wow. Like Mania?
Do you think Io, Kyrie, or Asuka will main event over Bailey, Bianca, or Rhea?
Asuka has a chance.
Asuka has the best chance. Why? Because she speaks English.
Sure.
It's a big part of it.
It is.
Io and Kyrie don't.
Did she speak English when she got here?
Very little, and it's gotten better.
Yeah.
But Asuka,
But she had time in NXT.
but
you had years
in
to
a
do.
shallow division.
Yeah.
She still ain't above
No.
Charlotte, Bailey.
You understand what I've always been an opinion of the show is that it's the horsewomen run everything, and then Asuka was right underneath her.
Sure.
So now there's
But you take that, what I just presented to you, Io is the champion.
yeah.
If I'm Kazuchika Okada,
They haven't given her that real run yet
how long has she been champ?
for a while. But it's just it's the key of the story is kicking Bailey out and letting her run.
But is the story them or is the story Bailey?
The story now is Bailey and kicking her out to see if they can run. I don't know if they can run after her, but they're going to get the shot as a crew of Asian women to run.
What is WWE has habitually put English-speaking Americans with Asian wrestlers. Habitually.
Yeah. Now it's time to and run with it.
But we haven't proven that.
And Asuka didn't have English speaking.
But
person.
they put somebody over on Asuka.
Yeah.
Right? Asuka had to ingratiate herself with the audience after how many years?
Yeah, took a while.
That my
One
point-
catchphrase in English.
that
She had to do a bunch of other shit.
so if you're Okada, it's like, do I want to wait 4 years to get my opportunity?
Yeah.
Like, because there is no proven template that says you're going to come here and it's going to work. Because Nakamura, Io's the champion, is like third in her group.
Sure.
Kyrie showed up. It was a big deal the day she showed up. We ain't really cared since.
Yeah. I mean, I really like that group. They got a ton of TV.
I like the group.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, we can all agree that Okada's bigger than all of them.
Yes, of course.
But who's to say he won't be relegated to the same spot that they're in?
And that's true. You have to treat him like he's bigger. He has to deliver like he's bigger. He, again, larger scale, smaller sample size. He has to be treated like Nakamura's treated in NXT, but in a much larger level. And that becomes tough. But if there's a guy to do it, if that's the challenge he wants, this is the space. And for the first time in the history of this company, there's someone in charge of creative where you got a shot. Before this, I couldn't even say you got a shot.
No, he had no shot. That's what I'm saying. He
You had
could
no
sign.
shot.
I'm saying he could sign.
Yeah.
Before I would say don't do it.
Don't
run.
run the other way.
Now I'm saying he could sign, but depending on what your goals are and where you want to be positioned in the company, maybe now is not the right time.
Sure. I just see like AEW spinning the same wheel. You might as well stay in New Japan. But I get at least you get a little bit of American audience.
I mean,
You
he's
get to
probably
learn
going to get paid a
English.
lot more
Yeah.
in AEW than he did in New Japan.
AEW would be like going to NXT, but way better because you get larger crowds,
a lot more
better
money.
workers, a lot more money, learning English.
And you get to work Wembley.
Yeah, if Okada came to WWE and they're like, yo, you got to go to NXT, I'd be like, get the fuck out of here. I'm going to AEW for 2 years because I'm doing way better over there. And then I'm coming and I'm main roster ready. Or you're going to put me in main roster right now and I'm going to grow over there. You got two options.
Yeah.
But I damn sure ain't going to NXT. So it's interesting. We'll see how all that plays out. This is one hell of a wrestling show. We're in here for like 2 hours. But it's Royal Rumble week. We'll devote this entire time to that. I love it. That means our Patreon episode we'll have to record on Thursday, which is really dope. There's a Lovers and Friends Festival graphic came out again. Can't wait to talk about that on Thursday. This shit is going to be crazy. Love talking about that one. And I'll actually be coming here straight from AVN. So that's going to be a wild ass story.
You enjoy that.
I'm sure. Every year, Dre. Every year I go to AVN. So that'll be a wild time coming in here. And then we'll have to smash together UFC and boxing. We got to talk boxing this week. So we'll have one hell of a time on Thursday, bring you our normal show and our Patreon show. So everyone on Patreon, take a listen on Thursday. New content will be up. We appreciate you all. Follow us on all social media networks. Listen to us wherever you guys listen to podcasts. Shout out to everyone here, Blue Wire Studios, Wynn Resort in Las Vegas. For myself, for the old man Andreas Hale. Till next time, we're out.
Peace.
On the corner.